Alright, welcome back guys. We're back at it another weekend. So you're seeing the engine in, you're seeing the pieces put together, and I'm telling you, if you've been watching these videos from the beginning, this car has taken a toll on this garage, because look at this thing. It's a total disaster. We got shoes, I mean it's just a mess. So this is kind of driving me crazy, and I'm getting close where all the pieces are coming together and going back in the car, so I'm not having to have a lot of stuff stored in crates and boxes and on the floor. So today I'm going to start by cleaning up the garage a little bit. Again, I mentioned before, I'm going to do a full restore, like on the floors and the walls and everything, but in the meantime it's still driving me nuts. So I'm going to go through and just clean up all of this space, like all this stuff that you see here. Yeah, I mean the toolbox, I mean just look at it, there's stuff everywhere. So I gotta get this cleaned up. We gotta get the car put back together. So you know, hey, working on the car is one thing. The space gotta be nice as well, because part of me enjoying this car is enjoying the space to be able to work in it. So we gotta have the space right. So we're gonna clean up, and then we're gonna jump right into the spherical bearing install. So you had seen on the previous video where the shifter cable was kind of loose, and doing this. Let me show you real quickly. So we had this play, all this play right here in the shifter, and you know, I've watched these videos before and I never quite understood what people were saying, why there's so much play. I always felt this was pretty good, but then when we go to the back, which you'll see when we do the install, you'll see where the bearings are bad. So ideally I'm thinking once we install these spherical bushings in the shifter cables, this play should go away, so it would be a nice firm engagement with the transmission when we do it. So let's see how well this works. So again, the spherical bearing kit, I got these from Prime MR2. So we're gonna try these out, see how they work. But for now, let's just jump right in and clean the garage up, and then we jump onto this. All right, so we're in Florida, as most of you know, and it's always hot in Florida, okay? so my wife was nice enough to get me this Evaporative Air Cooler, which I'm gonna call like a garage AC, and it's hot. So I figured before I jump right in and clean up, why not do it in comfort? So we're gonna open this thing up, see how well it works, fire it up. So we have some nice air conditioned, low temperatures to work with here, because again, we gotta make the space nice and comfy. So let's see what we have in the box. All right. Styrofoam, protective plastic, and here we go. So I've never used one of this before, so let's see if you just plug it in. Look, it even has a remote, so very nice. So now I got a remote for my TV, for my music, and for my AC. Now we got these, we got wheels. Alright, so one more box we'll get rid of. There's a collection boxes here, sorry about the noise. Alright, so let's see what's up here. We got these wheels, thinking they're gonna go on the bottom right here. So this is pretty cool because I get to move this around. Let's see how well it cools. I don't know if it has to be directly on you or what, but like we always say, the one way to find out, you gotta try it. So I really hope it works, because it is super hot in here, and I try to keep the garage closed just for the filming, for the noise, and the cars are always fast, and etc. So let's see, the road's pretty nice. Got some locks on these wheels. It's pretty cool. Alright, then we got a filter right here. So we'll have some nice clean air. And now we just gotta figure out how this works. So I think you gotta put water in there. But let me just read the instructions real quick, then we'll fire this guy up and start cleaning. This is good. Alright, so we got air conditioning. Basically, you fill this bucket with water, turn it on, and you got some nice cool air. we're gonna get started with the cleaning, so let's go. That's pretty clean. So we got the right side of the garage done. Now I gotta get this side, this whole bench gotta be cleaned up, and then we're gonna work over to that side, and that's the real side where the car is, where you see the floor is super dirty. So I'm just gonna clean with some degreaser for now, because this really needs to get waxed. But this, you know, just cleaning will do for now until we can get the car out and wax the whole thing, repaint and everything. So I hope you're enjoying this video so far. So let's see what happens. Alright, so finally got it all cleaned up. So the floor is nice and clean. The garage is organized. So I got all my fluids here. So we got the coolant, oil, transmission fluid, brake fluid. So one of these videos, I think it's the next one. I'm not even sure it's the next one. We'll see how it goes. But definitely one of them, we're going to have to change all the fluids in the car before we start it up. But today, as I mentioned, it was cleaning the garage and getting the shifter cable bushings done. So here's the kit that we have. I have it here on the trunk. So this came from MR2 Heaven. So it came with instructions. Not sponsored by any means. So it has the two bearings and then these bushings right here. So there are two different sizes. Actually, let me take this out to the bag with my dull scissors. Alright, here's what we got in the kit. And I give you a little sandpaper to clean the post up on the shifter bushings, but they're already clean because I had the transmission out of the car. So anyways, these are the bearings, and apparently they're gonna work kind of like this. So based on the instructions, now if you look, one is actually higher than the other one. So this one goes on the lower shifter cable, which is this arm right here. Hopefully you guys can see that. And then this one goes on the top cable, the one on the top there. So don't confuse these, because I've seen where they don't work. I mean, clearly they're different, so they're not going to work if you put them in the wrong application. So we're going to get them off, the factory ones off, and we're going to get these on, and let's see how that works. So you guys saw how the shifter cable, how the shifter moved, where it had that play, and fingers crossed that once we get this in, that's going to be just nice and firm and no play whatsoever. So let's go into the car, let's see what's happening. Alrighty, so we're gonna get the shifter, the lower shifter cable we're gonna work with first. So we're gonna get it off, And there's a little pin. You're gonna pull that out like this, put that off to the side. Then you have one washer, put that off to the side, and then the cable basically pulls out of the post right here. Okay, so this piece is where they give the sandpaper to clean up, so you can get that nice and smooth. But like I said, it's already cleaned. So we're gonna try to get this bushing now. Hopefully you can see that out of here. And I'm not sure if you can see it on camera under the car, but you'll see where it's oval. Once I get it out, I'll be able to show you better why this is worn. But basically, this is what was going on. See that play? See all of that play? That's what's creating that issue inside of the vehicle. So based on what I'm seeing here, it should work pretty good. So what I'm going to do to try to get this bushing out, because you could try to push it out, I guess, but I saw this little trick, and I'm going to kind of copy it, where you get a bolt, put it through a socket that is larger than the ring here that the bushing sits in, and then I'm going to try to tighten this and pull it through. So here's hoping this works as I've seen it work for others, and I don't have to reinvent the wheel. So here goes. I'm going to put one wrench here, and then we're going to turn this thing, and hopefully you guys are seeing this, and hopefully it comes right out. Looks like it's starting to come out. Let's see. Yep, starting to pull through. And there's not a lot of pressure when you're doing this. It's basically just easing itself out. There you go. So that's it. So that's a little trick on how to get this thing out without fighting it and, you know, too much hassle. So this is what it looks like. Let me take it out from under the car and show you guys what it looks like on top. All right, so here's it when we got it out. So now you can see. So I pulled the nut off. So came out pretty easy. Not much effort whatsoever. Again, I don't know, prying it, I think you might mess this up. So you could literally use this back if it was good using this method. So as you can see here, if you look right here, see, this is supposed to be perfectly round, but it's like that oval shape. Let me put it on flat so you get a better view from the top. So that's supposed to be a perfect circle, and clearly you can see like right here where it just basically ovaled out, and that's the plates basically from right here. That's why that cable is moving. So this should be a good fix. So again, the lower cable, we use the taller bushing, and then it goes on here, and we put it back on. But before I install everything, let me take the top one off, and then we'll just do the installing both all in one shot. Pretty easy thing to do. All right, so we got the top one off just like we did for the lower one. So I installed that one already, so let me show you how this goes on. So here is the bushing, and this is the taller one, so this goes on the bottom. So basically it goes on like so. There you go. And then this piece goes on where the lip goes to the lower end, or on the bottom of the bushing. And then the cable basically just comes over, slips right over like that. So see, no more play. And then we get the little pin that's applied to the kit, and we basically just put this guy in like so, and that's it. So that looks pretty solid. So now let's go inside the vehicle and see how this works. Let's see if it's going to be shifting nice and firm, and that's going to take care of that. Now let's do that, and then we're probably going to come back onto here, because although this video is really just about trying to get this spherical bearing kit installed, I do want to get this car started. So I have the radiator hose. I'd kept it off this side just to give me clearance to work here. I got to tighten up the fuel line here, and then get the intake buttoned up. And then after that, everything is done except the rear subframe and the axle seals. So, you know, we're moving along. So, you know, like I said, I know this might be a slow process for most, but, you know, it's what you do when it's not your daily driver. You're just taking your time, having fun, trying to build a car. So let's go see if this thing worked out. All right, so here's a test. Let's see how much play we got on this thing. So again, just minimal, and again, you know, this is not a brand new car, right? So the play is definitely gone in the back, and it's a lot firmer. So let's put it into gear, and it feels smooth compared to what it was before. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't terrible before, so you know, I wasn't expecting a huge improvement. But again, all in all, it got rid of the play. Do I think it's the best invention ever? Not really, but it works. And if you need a replacement bushing, I think this is a good option to use. So that's done. Now we can get the rest of the car finished up. So let's get these fuel lines on, let's get the water lines on, and then we'll wrap this video up. That just goes on with a clamp, so that's that hose, and then this is the feed line. So we're gonna use these AN adapters, and this is basically, it has a washer, and it's gonna go on the top of the fuel filter. So it's gonna go in like right here, and I'm just gonna put this in, thread it in, and then tighten this guy down. And I really don't like tightening in fittings because you know, I'm not comfortable with the amount of torque you got to put on them. But I'm just going to tighten it a little bit, and then we're going to tighten this one, and that's basically wrapping up the fuel system. So this is the feed line, and the return line is done already. So just get this in here, and I'm just going to put a little twist on this thing. I guess the worst thing that could happen is you mess this thing up. You got to put a new filter and a new AN fitting, but we don't want it to leak. All right, hopefully that's good enough. And now we're gonna put the hose on. All right, so that feels pretty good. So let me get the hose on and tighten that up. All right, so we got that in fitting in the filter. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm under the car. Hello. And then I threaded the line on here. So we're just gonna tighten this down, and that completes the fuel system. So pretty easy stuff, but just gotta get done. So I'm gonna try to get this in one turn here. Let's see. All right, I think that's good enough. So we're good to go. Now to get the water line on, and we are done. All right, so we are on the final leg. So this is the TCS driver side radiator hose, and this hose bypasses that metal pipe that we had before, the OEM pipe that ran around here and did a loop and went down. So this is just a one-piece, nice clean installation. So this is the final piece to the water system, and then everything is plumbed up. So essentially, once we get this in, the water system is plumbed up, it's just ready for coolant. The fuel system is ready to go, and the only thing left to do is really just change the oil and change all the fluids and crank this guy up. Okay, so we're gonna get this in. After that, we're gonna wrap it up, but I just wanted to take a minute. So we are currently, as I'm doing this video, at 199 subscribers. So that's a huge gap from where we started. I mean, when I started this, I had 3 subscribers for like 10 years, right? So this car has certainly helped to, you know, increase, I guess, my popularity, whatever you call it, on YouTube. So for all you 199 subscribers, thank you so much. And we just need one more to get to 200. That's a big deal. You know, when you're a little fish like me, 200 is a lot. So thank you guys. We're gonna put this on. It's really just routing it through here. You'll see what it looks like real quickly, and then we'll wrap it up. But let's put it on, and then let's just show you how picky I am. These are the clamps that came with the kit. I wasn't gonna use them because I hate when you tighten these things and it has that little piece that sticks out, you know, once you tighten it down. So I actually cut the length of this clamp. So once I tighten it, there's just a little edge that's gonna go in right here and tighten it up. And when it's tightened, and it makes it super clean. So, you know, every little detail I'm looking at in this car. If you look at even the clamps here, everything is perfectly aligned because that's just how I like to have everything looking sharp. So let's get this on, and hopefully when this video comes out, we'll be above 200 subscribers. But I appreciate everybody watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and more importantly, I tell you, I love subscriptions, but I love comments, right? There are a couple guys that have been sending me constant comments, and I really appreciate that. I like the interaction because, you know, I'm just sitting in the garage here building, so that's the way you get to interact with people, right? And you know, once this car is done, we'll take it out to car meets and stuff and more interaction. So that's really the fun part of all of this. So let's get this on, and hope you like this video, and thanks for watching. Alright, so this goes on right here. And we're gonna get this clamp like this. And I put some grease around where these hoses go on, because I mean, these are silicone hoses, so if I have to pull them for whatever reason, I want them to go back on nice. Well, I want them to come off nice and smooth so I can reuse them. I don't have to cut them like what I did with the factory pieces, because I didn't want to mess up. I basically cut the factory lines off just to not have the hassle of trying to drag a hose off. So let me get my 8mm, get this on right here, and then we go under the car. You'll see what that looks like. So this one goes right here. Hopefully you guys can see that. Right up here. And it just makes a nice bend, goes on top of the starter. So very nice clean installation. So let me tighten this up, and that's going to be a wrap for today, guys. So we'll see you on the next one. This is what's going to happen on the next video. We're going to change these axle seals right here. So these are going to get replaced. And then we're gonna put the rear subframe up and get the transmission fluid in, axles, everything buttoned up. So we're getting close, So hang in there, we're getting there, all right? Thank you so much, have a good weekend, and I'll see you guys soon.